Shylock is My Name by Howard Jacobson. Um, Last year, Hogarth Press commissioned a number of writers to do something around to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death, and Harold Jacobson chose to take on Shylock. There is writing in this book which has some of the most intensest intelligence, such compressed intelligence, that I think it's some of the most wonderful writing I've ever read. Interestingly, the story that it's hung on is rather silly, not unenjoyable, but sort of slightly a sort of satiric romp that is slightly misses its mark, but it's actually really just to allow the central character, a man named Strulovich, to have these conversations with Shylock. Now, what's important about this is that the character of Shylock, obviously from The Merchant of Venice, which was the first Shakespeare play I ever read when I was, 12 or 13 or something. And I've always been hugely affected by the play, and probably seen and read it more times than any other Shakespeare play. I find Shylock a hugely compelling and sympathetic character. But what happens is it's set in modern times, and Shylock is present. But Shylock is present in a way that we don't have to ask questions about. He merely is present at the graveside of his wife, and he exists. His existence doesn't happen outside of the play, so we don't know any more, or we don't learn any more about him than what happened in the play, or in fact what happened before the play. So it's a brilliant creative intellectual conceit to transpose the completeness of the character from within the play into a kind of modern setting, but make no excuses for him being there, and not try to do anything else with him, but just use the character of Shylock. And what's interesting is that this, as I said, this sort of density, this compressed intelligence in the dialogues between Strulovich and Shylock, some of the best writing ever, is Shakespearean in the sense that what Shakespearean language does is carry that level of complexity. But it's not in the Elizabethan idiom. It's in just modern day idiom. But somehow there is a residue of what happens when two people talk in Shakespeare. The amount of information that is carried, and the level of character complexity. What Keats said about Shakespeare, which is the negative energy. Was it negative energy? No. God, I can't remember. Sorry. The negative capability, which is that within Shylock's conversation is the kind of oscillating humanness of someone desperately intelligent but hugely frustrated and agonized and angry. And it just makes for just the most compelling reading. And even though, half the book is a sort of, is a sort of enjoyable nonsense, it's juxtaposed by some of the most deep and chiseled and intense writing. And I just can't recommend those sections enough. It's great stuff. Thank you.